The Truth, the superhero team that replaces the Seven in the Boys comic finale, or was at least pitched to. Now, the Boys comic went from 2006 to 2012, and by the end of the series, almost every single main character was dead. It was a bloody, horny graphic mess that has been both praised and demolished by fandom. Some see it as ballsy and very brave for the comic to commit to this idea of complete chaos, while others think that it's done not necessarily tastefully, or as organic as it can be. For example, the TV show, I think, does a better job at having organic blood and sex, if that makes sense. It's still the same type of tone, but a different way of how it's handled. The sex and gore feel a lot more natural in the TV show than it does in the comic. However, of course, to each their own. You can love the comic and hate the show. I've seen many people who actually have that opinion. Now, by series end, almost the entire Seven was killed. Jack from Jupiter would be brutally killed by Butcher by having his guts mangled in revenge of Terra's death, which I say is deserved. Because the one thing I'm kinda sad about the series not having from the comic is Terror, Butcher's adorable dog, who Jack the CUNT killed. Black Noir would have his head popped open by Butcher after learning it was him who had killed Becca and not Homelander. Black Noir also ate a living baby. Queen Maeve would die defending Starlight from Homelander only to be one punched by him and her head would pop off. This is actually the fight that the Maeve and Homelander fight on the show is based off of. However, Maeve in the show actually survives and can hold her own against Homelander. Here, she can't, not even by a little bit. A-Train would get his head cut off by Huey, finally getting revenge for Robin's death, which A-Train doesn't even remember. And finally, Homelander would be beaten to death by Butcher. Starlight lives, and quits being a superhero to be with Huey, after having enough with Vought, from being sexually abused by other heroes, as well as watching her only friend of the team be killed by Homelander. It's a nice, happy ending for the two characters, which is good because they're the only ones who survive. Well, 2 of 4 characters that survive. Now, in the wake of the death of, well, almost everyone, even the entirety of the boys except for Huey, Vought wishes to continue on the idea of producing superheroes, since that is where they get their money from. And even though their entire team is dead or retired, they still want to keep going. So in the final issue, we see a new team being pitched to James Stillwell. This is the Truth, which includes many new heroes we've never seen before, and never will again, dressed in all-white costumes. Among them is also the Deep, who is a surviving member of the Seven, in fact the only one besides Starlight, whose costume is interesting and I don't like it. The character in this series was only ever really used for racist jokes, with this version being African American, which is likely why it was changed on the show to make the character Caucasian. Even here, his costume is intended to be a joke to the racist hate group that I can't name. Although you can tell what it is. You can see it. I don't need to say it. Stillwell is against the pitch, saying it won't work, but seems to still want to continue trying to make a superhero team again. The Truth is actually pitched as being a legitimate superhero team without the shady characters like A-Train, nor the homicidal maniacs like Homelander and Black Noir. However, despite Vought turning it down as their main team, it does seem like there's still something they're considering as just another team, although not a replacement for the Seven. Now, the reason why I made this video is because this idea to me is actually pretty promising. There's something here that could be a very compelling storyline for the TV show. The idea of an actual team of superheroes in the world of fake ones. Now, the show has shown many different heroes with actual high morals, such as Starlight, Supersonic, and Queen Maeve. And while Supersonic is dead and Maeve is out hiding, the idea of Starlight perhaps leading or creating a team of actual superheroes to rival Homelander 7 I think could be an intriguing concept. I do think that that could be an interesting take from this idea from the comic. Although I don't see them wearing all white, nor do I see them including the Deep. It could even include Gen V characters. Since 4 out of 6 of them are heroes, perhaps Starlight is starting a new generation of actual heroes to rival the older one of Homelanders. I mean, it'll probably never happen, but I do think there is something there that I think could be really cool to see play on screen. Andre and Emma from Gen V even have superhero names already, Polarity and Cricket. Therefore, both of them very much could easily be on the superhero team. Although not right now because they're in prison, or wherever they are. Some sort of Vought containment cell. But they're of course not going to stay there forever. Neither is Marie and Jordan. two other characters that very much could be on the team. In fact, if anyone would be, I would assume Marie would. Now, of course, this is probably not going to happen. Just something that I think would be cool to see. Although I do wonder as to how the series itself will end. Since, like said in the comic, almost everyone dies. The ending also has a lot to do with Black Noir being a Homelander clone, which isn't the case in the show. Also, Butcher becomes a villain, which, while I could kinda see happening in the show, I really doubt it. We are getting a new Black Noir, so maybe he's a Homelander clone, but yet again, I also doubt it. Although I do surely think that by series end, at the very least, Homelander, Vought, and the more psycho members of the team will be taken out, or at least defeated. Although yet again, this is the boys, so you never know. They might actually win. And that's it. Like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!